Hello, welcome everyone to the Stellar Woman Show and the Stellar Woman Magazine. My name is Stella Olivia Kikoyo, and I'm the editor-in-chief of the Stellar Woman Magazine and also the host of the Stellar Woman Show. The Stellar Woman Magazine is here to bring you thriving women's stories, knowledge, and experiences so that you too can tap into that knowledge, learn one or two things, be inspired, make a change, and thrive in your life. We know that knowledge is power, of course, if acted upon, but we're here to move one knowledge from one woman to another across the globe so that we can ensure that all women thrive. We know that women are a power force in the world, a force of change, and it is changing one woman at a time. Today, I'm thrilled and honored really to be having a special guest, a thriving woman all the way from Singapore. Are we sure? Are we all right with that? Are we from Singapore? Yes. So this thriving woman is Wewe. Wewe is many things that we are going to find out, but mainly she is a coach who helps high performance coaches. She helps coaches to get to levels of six figures, 7 figures. She is the founder of Inner World Training and also Impact University. So we are going to learn a lot how she got there and how she enables other coaches to get to that level. And I personally, I am one of those that is lucky to be under her arms, under her inspirations, and I don't take knowledge for myself as well. I am ready for you to understand what she's here for and her mission so that you too can benefit from this amazing stellar woman. Welcome, Wewe.
Thank you, Stella. This is amazing. Thanks for the amazing introduction. I'm glad to be here and glad to be able to connect with all of your audience as well. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much. So I know that we know that you help coaches to elevate their performance, to drive their mission and make great impact in the world. That's a bit that most of people will know, but we are going to dive deeper into where it all started. Who is Wewe and what is your backstory?
Thank you. So basically, I am born and bred in Singapore. I'm Asian Chinese. And so when I first grew up, I'm actually a very shy and introverted child. And because I'm the youngest in the child, most of the time I'm just playing alone at home and with my mom. So, but when I was very young, I already wanted to be an entrepreneur. And so after my first job, which was a book editor, I decided that I didn't want to just work for other people anymore. I wanted to start my business. So I began to start my entrepreneur journey, and it's been I've been an entrepreneur for about 19 years now. And so when I first started out as an entrepreneur, because I was so introverted, it's actually very difficult for me to speak out. So for 12 years before the pandemic, I was actually I actually had a retail business. And at the very first few years when I started my retail business, right, it was actually very difficult for me because when I had different customers, 5, 10 customers, 20 customers in front of me, right, I actually get very nervous. And sometimes I might even just run and hide. But eventually, 12 years in the experience of being a retailer, it just honed my skills, public speaking skills. So in the end, I became better at speaking. But when the pandemic came, what happened was it actually wiped out 80% of my retail business because I was doing events, event sales, event retail. And so what happened at that point in time was I wasn't able to run my retail business anymore. And I was just weighing my options. And I realized that there were not a lot of different options that I could actually do. But I was attending this webinar just to be able to understand more about online marketing and digital marketing. And I saw this guru who was speaking on stage, and he suddenly just triggered this dream that I had many, many years ago, 14 years ago to be exact. And I never thought that it was something that I have forgotten for a really long time, which is to become a speaker, a trainer, and a coach. And after that webinar, I was so triggered by what he said about the impact that he was making on the lives of his students, then I actually cried uncontrollably for 30 minutes. And that moment, it just sparked. I just remembered this dream that I had 14 years ago. And from then on, I started to think about what I really want to do. But fast forward a few months later, I was on this Zoom session with a six-figure coach, and I was trying to seek her advice because she seems to be very experienced and she's in Singapore. So I was trying to ask her, well, I've got this dream to become a speaker, a trainer, a coach. Do you think I can make it? Right? Because at that point, I was a nobody. I wasn't a coach. I didn't know how to become a coach, right? So one of the things, and when she looked at me, right, she just looked at me so sternly and she said, Hui Hui, you don't speak well, you're so shy and introverted, you don't even have a social media following. Who are you to become a coach? And when she said that to me, you know, when people don't encourage you on your dreams and they just pour cold water on you, I'm sure many of you have experienced that before, right? It was just like a heart that pierced through my heart at that moment in time. And because of what she said, I actually just gave it up. I gave up that dream again. And it was only several months later when I attended a Tony Robbins event that dream was reignited because I heard one of the speakers tell me that it's okay for me to become a coach, even if I'm just one chapter ahead. And that's when it told me that I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be the best. I don't have to be the top when I first start. As long as I start, I can become better along the way. And that's how I started. And one of my first clients, after she took a few classes with me, free classes that was offering to my first few people in my Facebook group. I've had 10 people in my Facebook group at that point in time. I was just giving out free lessons, free classes, helping them along, right? And then she came to me after 2 weeks and she said, Hui Hui, can you become my coach? And I was so touched. And she told me her story. She told me that she wanted to quit her full-time job. She wasn't feeling fulfilled. And she really wanted to be able to help people regain back their health because she's a nurse and she wants to get help with women after menopause, regain back their energy and their vitality. And she has a lot of knowledge within her to be able to help that. And when she told me about her dream, I just went like, this is someone that I really want to help. And when she asked me to become her coach, at that point in time, I didn't know how to become a coach, but I said yes anyway, and I went to figure out how. And I realized that when someone places their dreams on you, I take it upon my shoulders that this is somebody that I truly want to help. And if I could impact her life, if I could help her fulfill her dream, right, how wonderful would that be? And that's how Impact University started. That's how I started Inner World Training, and that's how I started my coaching business. And so I sought out many different mentors to learn from in order to become good at what I do, right, after that. So I actually had 3 different mentors that I was learning from. So after my first few months, right, I just set my goal to do 100K in 100 days in my coaching business. And I actually hit that in 70 days. And subsequently, I made a second goal, which is to hit 250,000, right? I hit that in the next 3 months. And then I set a next goal, which is to hit a million in about 12 months. And I did 1.1 in about 10 months. And so what I was trying to do was because I wanted to pave the way for my clients. I wanted to be the role model for them. And so I just learned all I could, right? And practice and became good at what I do, right? So that eventually I can teach them to become who they want to be so that they can fulfill their full potential and really realize their dreams and live life on their own terms. And this is how I actually started. And this is what I've been doing for the past 18 months.
Oh, wow. Amazing, amazing story, quite inspirational. And the leap, the leap, the jump, setting these goals, there's just so much to learn from just what you've given us in that period of time from your childhood and actually going beyond being left, being told that you couldn't be a coach, first of all, and now being a 7-figure coach and bringing others along as well, making impact through Impact University and Inner World Training. That's Really amazing. Well done, and congratulations to all of that. Very well done.
Thank you.
Quite
Thank you.
inspirational,
Thank you.
and we can all see, we can all get there. We can all get there. There's something to tap through that. Tell us, I know that this was your dream, but was that your childhood dream career? Is that what you wanted to become as a little girl?
Yeah, I wanted to become an entrepreneur, but I never thought that I would become a speaker and a coach, right? Or much less a trainer, right? When I first started, I remember my very first memory was because my dad is a businessman. So I remember my very first memory of being in business, right, was actually sitting in his high chair in his office. And I think I was about 4 or 5 years old, and I was just enjoying that chair so much, sitting there because, I was so tiny and the chair was so huge. But I remember my dad was taking a photo of me at that point, and I just love the idea of business and looking at my dad speaking to his friends in his office. I basically grew up. My first 12 years of my life was actually spent in his office and listening to him talk to his friends, doing deals and all of that. Yeah, so I knew that one day I'll become an entrepreneur. It's just I didn't know what business I was going to be in, but I knew that I wanted to do something on my own.
Oh, amazing, amazing. I could just figure you up on the high chair. Wow. But also tapping into what was going on in the subconscious mind at that time as a little girl is amazing as you tapped into all these conversations. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. You could think that the little girl wasn't learning. I think she was learning, taking in a lot. And that's maybe what's making you that's your inner strength. And your superpower is something deeper in there, in the subconscious mind.
Yeah.
That's
My dad
amazing.
was a big influence for me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very good. That's very good. Well done, him, for inspiring and you putting in that chair. So as a pardon? You think so?
Yeah, yeah. I love being in his office and just listening to him talk to his friends. Yeah.
Yeah. I can see you as a little girl really enjoying that. Enjoying that. Did
Yep.
he allow you to tap into the conversations to say something, or were you continuously an introvert even when you were seated in the high chair?
I was just enjoying the moments. And basically I couldn't really join in that conversations because they were talking about things that I couldn't even understand at the point in time.
Very good, very good. Thank you. So as a striving woman, what are your ideal stellar woman attributes? What are those characteristics that you aim for as a woman?
I think a stellar woman is someone who is strong and independent, and who truly believes in herself and trusts her own instincts, and someone who is grounded, right, and not afraid to actually speak up and go for your dreams. So one of the things that I believe a woman should have, right, is actually also the ability and the financial means to look after ourselves as well as the people around us.
Amazing. I love all of those. I don't think you can beat them at all. I don't think you can beat them. Strong independence, self-belief, financial independence. You can't beat all those attributes. They would just make you the stellar woman. And we can see you actually just striving to be that and being that. Amazing. Well
Thank you.
done.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
So
you.
you are one of the only 1% seven-figure coaches. My goodness, we want to be that, don't we? Congratulations for that. What does that mean to you? And I know that you got started through the coaching world and you performed at that level. But just tell us, what does that mean to you, first of all?
Well, it actually means that I get to impact lives for a living. And previously in my retail business, I was doing well, but I wasn't feeling fulfilled. But this is a business where we get to help people fulfill their dreams, and so that they can live life on their own terms. And when they are able to reach their first 6 figures and then eventually 7 figures, right? That's when the lives change. And I find it very, very gratifying to actually see when money is no longer a problem in their life or no longer a worry, right? And they now have because as we can see, the the times that are coming up, right? The economic times that's coming up, it might be unstable, it's uncertain, we don't know. But if we can equip ourselves with a skill set to be able to make money, regardless of what the economy is, to be able to create our own economy, right? And to be able to do this online in a world where there are no boundaries, where we can go international, right? And you can do this on your own terms, in your own space, wherever you choose to be, even if you want to travel and you can do this, that's when it truly becomes a life of meaning and a life of freedom as well, of both time freedom, financial freedom, right? And to be able to provide for our family, we'll provide for the people around us, our community, right? And I'm actually very grateful that every single day I get to do this for a living, to be able to just combine fulfillment, right? And still being able to make a great income from all of that. I think that is just one of the greatest careers that we can have ever in this world. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. I can see you beaming and the smile there, because you've actually transferred us from success to actually fulfillment. And for you to have a career that does both is something to be really grateful for. So amazing. Well done for that. And creating the meaning out of that and impact. For everyone else. You're not thinking about yourself, you're thinking about the people, your clients, you're thinking about also other people in your community, making great impact for them. Yeah, that's
absolutely.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
think that's what success should actually mean. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have this thing called the mission to movement, right? I believe that every single one of us, whether especially women, right, we do have a mission at heart that we want to be able to help other people, regardless of whether it's our family, regardless of whether it's the people around us, or maybe some of you might have a passion, a skill set, an expertise, right, that you can bring to the world. And if you can actually do that, right, that is your mission. Sometimes we call it our calling as well, right? And we feel compelled to actually do it. And we can carry that message and spread and use your own stories to inspire more people. You can turn that into a movement. And when all of us do that together, right? Imagine how much good we can actually bring to the world. So I believe that through this mission to movement, which I'm doing, right? Together, all of us can rise up and the world will become a much, much better place, simply because we're all willing to now embrace our mission and our calling, and to be able to show up into the world as a bigger and better version of ourselves. Yeah, that's what I truly believe in.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. And better join that mission say movement. We need to get women who are taking us up like that, just bringing about consciousness and elevating our understanding that we can achieve more and we can create greater impact for all. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, that's really great. Thank you. You're the founder, of course, we know already, of Impact University. Tell us exactly what inspired you. Why Impact University? And what is your experience so far? Because when we hear Impact University, I've experienced Impact University, but I don't know what our subscribers are now thinking. What is that? Where do I get it? Where did it start from, first of all?
Yeah. I love the word impact. The reason why I use the word impact is because I believe that in order for us to create a good income, right, it doesn't start from chasing the money, but it starts from influencing people. It starts from impacting lives first. And if we can start to impact other people, right, by whether it's impacting them through their thoughts, their beliefs, right, and then later on impacting them to take action towards bring about change in their lives, right? That is how eventually we'll be able to transform their lives. Okay. And so once we can start with that, the impact, and then to influence them, right? Eventually the income will come. So this is something that we talk about in our program, Impact University, that these are the three components that constitutes living life on your own terms. You start with impact first, and then influence, and then income. And so once we are able to do this and really obsess over these two things, and this is something that I talk about with my clients as well. Okay, so in order for us to be able to create a really impactful business, right, there are those two things that we need to obsess about. One of it is obsess about growing ourselves, and the other one is obsess about getting our client results. So when we are able to obsess over these two things, right? Obsess about growing ourselves, obsess over getting our client results, right? Guess what? Then our business becomes very impactful. Our business will become successful all by itself, simply because this is the law of nature and the law of business. Okay, growing ourselves is the law of nature, and growing up and obsessing about client results, right, is the law of business. So basically, when we're able to get our client results, we are able to grow our business organically, right, through more referrals, through better results, through customer satisfaction. And so this is what is the essence of what Impact University is all about, because we want to be able to transform lives one at a time. And when their lives change, the lives, the people around them, their lives will change as well. And so that's how we actually bring about more and more impact around us in our world, and then out into the world. It's a ripple effect. That's what we want. That's what we want to be able to achieve with Impact University.
Amazing, amazing. I love it. I love it very much. I love the mission, and it's somehow aligned to what the Stellar Woman magazine is about. It's about impacting one woman at a time, changing those perspectives. You know, we have stories we tell ourselves, and it's just changing that perspectives and revealing possibilities. What is possible for you? 7 figures is possible for you. And that's what Impact University is demonstrating to you. And that 7 figures is actually possible. You can start from wherever you are, and you can get to a new height in your life. I like the fact that you're telling us about the laws of nature. I've picked up on those, and the law of business. That's growth and results. So thinking about growth is a law of nature, and the law of business is results for your clients or for your customers, whatever you call them. That's very much.
Yes, you're so right. You're so right. Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
So impact, influence, and income. Wow. I think you will not forget those. Impact, influence, and income. Yeah, great. Thank you very much. And you're also the CEO and founder of Inner World Training. Okay. Please share with us the mission. Is it different from Impact University?
Yes. The reason why I called my company Inner World Training, and I've got this name for 14 years, right at the time when I actually had this, when my dream was first born, right? I actually registered this name for a really long time, even though I didn't start a business. The reason why I call it Inner World Training is because our inner world creates our outer world. Right, our outer world is actually just a reflection of what's going on inside. So our results are just the symptoms. Our results are just the consequences of what we have inside our inner world. And so it's very important that we start by thinking about when we want to change our results, right? We want to start by thinking about what do I need to change in my thoughts? What do I need to change in my beliefs, right? And then from there, I change my habits and I change my actions, and therefore it will result in the outcomes that we truly want. And so that's why I call this Inner World Training, because in business, right, I believe business is a spiritual game, and is very much a spiritual journey. Business is just a vehicle that we use in order for us to raise our consciousness. It's for us, in order for us to grow ourselves. So it's one of the best vehicles for spiritual growth. So which is why if we can enhance and grow our inner world, and to raise our vibrations and our consciousness in our inner world, right, our results will be reflected in our outer world, in our business itself. And so this is why I call our company Inner World Training. Yeah. And right now inside our company, we have a mission for this next 3 years, which is we want to be able to help 300 new coaches and entrepreneurs to be able to reach their first 10K in their online business, and then to be able to help another 30 reach their first 6 figures in their coaching business, and another 3 to reach their 7 figures in their coaching business. So I call it the 3-3-3, right? So 300, 30, and 3 to reach the 7 figures. So this is our mission for the next that we're working on right now.
Amazing, amazing. We would need to tap into that, setting those goals. They are so measurable. You can see 330 and 3. Wow, wow, wow. I love that. I love that very much. Wow. So we can see what Inner World training is about. It's about changing your thoughts, your beliefs, so that you can have better results. I like the words that you used. I thought I've never heard of that. Business is a vehicle to your spiritual growth. Is that the case? Did I get that
Yeah,
right?
that's right. Yep, it is. It
Well, can you
is.
tell us
Because
more?
in business, we
Yeah.
get to experience so many things, right? There's so many different things that occur that are not within our sometimes not within our control, sometimes within our control, but there are a lot of things that we need to learn. And in order for us to grow our business, we need to equip ourselves with new skills. We need to equip ourselves with new beliefs, new identity, new mindset, right? And it's all about growth. And the more we can grow ourselves, the faster we can grow ourselves, right? The more we can break through our limitations to get to the new level in our business.
I love that very, very much. Thank you for demonstrating that. I did know that, and many people would just stop at the point of saying that cannot be true. But after your explanation, who can doubt that business can really transform your spiritual growth as well? Wow, impacting, because you are challenged and you have to change and you transform every time through the challenges you experience as a business person.
Exactly. And I didn't start off like that. When 19 years ago, as when I first started out, right, as an entrepreneur, I was a struggling entrepreneur. I didn't know how to become an entrepreneur. I didn't know that I needed to start from impact first. I was just chasing the money. I was just chasing customers, right? And and even when I was doing sales, right, I was pushy, I was salesy, right? I was desperate. And in the first 7 years of my business as an entrepreneur, in fact, there were many times when I actually didn't have a lot of money. And I remember there were a few occasions when I had to actually just walk home for 30 minutes because I didn't even have 50 cents, 70 cents to pay for the bus ride home. So it's very much an inner game, right? It's very much about upskilling ourselves. It's very much about how can I overcome my obstacles and become and to be able to be really hungry for our success. Because I believe that if we are really hungry and when our desires are greater than our fears, right, that's when we become unstoppable. And at that point in time, I had a lot of fears. I had fear of speaking. I had fear of rejection. I had fears of judgment from my parents, judgment from my peers, from my friends, right? I had fear of just showing up in my business and talking to new customers, right? But because I was so hungry, because I really had a desire to succeed, that's when I go all in and I do it no matter what. And one of my mentors taught me this thing that is when your fears, when you don't let your fears stop you, right? When you become bigger than your fears, that's when no one can really stop you. When you become a bigger person than your fears, when you become a bigger person than your problems, right? Then no one can really stop you. But the reason why most of us are stopped in our tracks is because we see our problems as bigger than us. So how can we see ourselves, or how can we grow ourselves to the extent that our problems are actually not smaller? Our problems are actually smaller, and then we are bigger than our problems. And when we can do that, right? When we can become resourceful, right, and start to be able to become bigger than our problems, that's when it becomes easier for us to just trust that whatever problems come our way, eventually we'll be able to find the right solution to be able to solve those problems. So at the end of the day, right, it's how can we become a problem solver, right? Rather than just to become overcome or daunted by the problems that we have in our lives.
Fantastic. Wow, that's oh, this is Impact University going on at the moment. We're in a class, okay? So We are enjoying the class. I think even if you can run away with this is enough for you. That's okay. That's okay. Because you have to be bigger than your fears. And it's at that point I thought you transformed it, because it's at that point when you can transform to that realization and maybe leaving that bit that you are bigger than that problem and you becoming a problem solver. Yes.
Exactly. When we break down, very often the breakthrough is coming.
Yes.
But sometimes when we break down, we're wondering in that dark night of the soul, right? The times when when it's the darkest, right? We might just give up. But if we didn't give up at that moment, that's when the breakthrough is coming. And we got to believe that the breakthrough is coming for it to come. And we got to hang on. And that's when the point of success, you actually reach that. So every single time we reach a plateau, right, that's when we need to be thinking about what else can I do in order to break through, and always believe that the breakthrough will always come. And when we can believe in that, right, and believe that it's worth going through that process, that's when we can go to the next level and the next level and the next level.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So when we get to that level, if you are at that level, and many of us have been to that level, if you, at this moment you are in that level, all you have to do is tap into that belief and trust that as long as you persevere, as long as you hold on tight, your breakthrough is coming soon. That's quite inspirational. It's something to hold on to. Thank you very much for giving us that. Thank you. And giving every listener that opportunity to learn something. This is your breakthrough moment. This is your breakthrough. Thank you, Coach. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So you've received, I know that, I don't know whether you've already gone. I know that you, this is big, this is huge. You're one of the top affiliates that qualified for Tony and Robbins, masterminds. Is it, you know what, mastermind? I don't know what that is. How did you get there? Tell us. It's huge. It's huge. You're with Jim Quick, with Brandon Bashad. How did you get there? What did it start for you to start this journey? This is exciting.
Well,
Congratulations.
Thank you. I entered this contest. It's an affiliate competition by Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. Okay, and there were about 600 affiliates in this competition, and I emerged number 12 in this competition. In the end, the final number was number 12. Well, it all started because I just had a very simple dream. And it's quite funny because all I wanted to do was I wanted to take a photo with Tony Robbins on stage. And so when I told my partner and my best friend that I wanted to join in this affiliate contest, and they were analyzing this situation with me, and they were saying, look, right, there are 600 affiliates there. Most of them have the email list that are 10 times or even 100 times bigger than yours, right? They are celebrities. They are famous gurus. They are personalities within their own industries, right? It's not possible to become the top 10. I wanted to be in the top 10 or top 20, right? In order to be on stage with Tony Robbins. But then at that point in time, I actually listening to them, right? I sort of gave up, thinking that, that's true, right? Thinking on it from a very logical point of view, there's no way that I would actually be able to accomplish being in the top 20 at all. But there's a part of me that wants to fight. There's a part of me that wants to win, and my desire. Coming back to desire again, my desire was very, very strong. I really wanted this simple wish to be able to take a photo with him on stage, right? And so I didn't give up. And just a few weeks before the competition began, that's when I really went all in, and I started to become resourceful and started to think about how can I make it work. because I believe that for entrepreneurs, right, is rather than thinking about what are the problems, but it's better for us to be thinking about what is the solution. Okay, so I'm always asking myself, how can I make it work? How can I make this? How can I do this, right, in order for me to be able to achieve the outcome that I want? And so it's really a dream come true for me to be able to be there. There's going to be 20 of us. There's going to be Brendon Burchard, Jim Quick, even Pagan, people who are really famous in industries, and of course Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. And I'm just feeling very, very honored and humbled to be able to spend a day with them. It's going to be next month. I'll be spending a day with them in the headquarters, right? And just masterminding from them, learning from them, and to be able to just soak in the energy of this industry giants, right? And to be able to learn from them, yeah, deeply, deeply grateful and honored to be able to do that. And so absolutely, absolutely a thrill to be in this competition. And I went through a lot as well during this competition. There were a lot of ups and downs because I didn't have a huge list, but I had to be very, very resourceful in order to be able to win at this competition.
Fantastic. Congratulations. What was your most, apart from, was it just the email list, or did you have any other challenge that you experienced for that?
Well, most of the top guys, they were actually doing ads. But I didn't. I did totally everything organically. No ads, just Facebook, organic marketing, as well as email list, right? But I had very, very good relationships with the people on my list, and they know me very well. And I'm just very blessed that they were willing to support me, and to be able to see that what Tony and Dean is offering is something that is really very beneficial for them. And so yeah, that's how we actually won the competition.
Amazing, amazing. Well done, well done. It started with a dream. The dream was just to take a photograph with Tony and Tony Robbins. And there you were, and it kept becoming different. And then it became, I think at some point it transformed into a bigger dream. And then you couldn't, you became unstoppable at that point.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, yeah.
You're still giving up. Well done. Very well done. It reminds me when I took that picture with Kim Kiyosaki 5 years ago. I didn't know. I kept thinking after that conference, it was so quick. She was going past, and I just said, "Can I take a picture?" And I kept thinking, one day I want to have a conversation with this woman, and even with her coach. I didn't know how. I hadn't started this magazine. I really didn't. I didn't know how it was going to be, but I just wanted it. So having the opportunity to interview her as it's coming on, I feel like, wow, having that seed, planting that seed, yeah, it makes things possible. But that was really amazing. Well done, well done. 20 from 600. I could see myself giving up. I could see myself, no, I don't think so. We have to tap into these stories. We have to tap into women like you and get that grit, that what transforms them, what makes them go all the way, and don't think that, oh no, I'm a failure. Everyone else is advertising. Everyone else has 10,000 email lists. Everyone else having all of those. I would stack them up. I would stack them up and then just say, forget it. But you just broke all of them down. You just broke all of them down. Well done. Well done. This is quite transformational. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we know that you're making decisions along the way, but as a CEO, please share with our subscribers, because decision making is really an important aspect that we always want women to have a lesson to learn from founders and CEOs like yourself. Please let us know more about what you think, how important is decision making, and the lesson.
Really important.
Yeah.
Really important. Successful people usually they make their decisions very fast. And one of the things that that I learned is we got to keep our word after we make a decision. And so we got to honor our word when we make our keep our make our decisions, right? So I think one of the key things for me when it comes to making decisions, right, is actually trusting your instincts. Trusting that you've got what it takes, right? And also when your gut feel tells you that whether or not something is a hell yes, right, or a hell no, just to be able to trust that. And if it's a hell no, right, just hold on to that decision, right? And see whether something else emerges for you. And if it's a hell yes, right, then just go all in and do whatever it takes for you to achieve that outcome that you want to. And that is the way that I've always moved with my decisions, right? It's very important for me that I trust my guts and instincts, and I believe that whatever opportunities that the universe puts in our way, right? If we are not ready for it, the opportunity would not present itself in front of us. And the fact that it is in front of us means that the universe is telling us that, or God, right? Whichever religion that we are in, is telling us that we are ready for it. Okay, and if we are presented with that, then it's really important for us to seize that opportunity and to say yes to it first, and then figure out the how later. I think many people, especially women, because the way we are being the way our DNA is sometimes we will doubt ourselves first, right? And then we missed out on opportunities. But if we can start to train ourselves and say that it's okay to say yes, it's okay to say that this opportunity is here because the universe trusts that I can take this opportunity and fulfill it, right? And believe that I can do it, right? And really seize the opportunity and go ahead and do it. That's when things will start to change for us. And I believe that when we can start with this level of decision making in our lives, right, that's how our lives are going to change decision by decision, right? Because our lives is just simply made up of different decisions that we make every single day. Yeah. So and so we just need to trust that we've got all it takes within us. And sometimes we don't know. We don't know what we have within us until this situation arises. And then we realize that, gosh, whatever that I had in the past was actually setting me up to be able to take advantage of this opportunity. Just like when I stepped into coaching, I didn't know that when I was 8 years old in a choir in my school. I didn't know that at 17 years old, I was in a drama performing in my school, that all of these experiences is going to help me in my public speaking skills. I didn't know that. I didn't know that when I first started my my first job as a book editor, my writing skills is going to help me right now in copywriting as when I'm writing my content post. I didn't know that in my first photography business, right, that within those 2 years, I'm going to develop a very keen eye for details until right now, I can see that my eye for details is helping me to be able to get things done better, right? In a more with higher standards, right? And so everything that happened for us in the past is just setting us up for success in the future, right? And we just got to trust and that the life is really happening for us and not against us. And so when we can make those kind of decisions, right, and be able to trust that we have got what it takes, that's when we will go forward with faith, with belief that it will all work out in the end.
Amazing, amazing. I love that. I love that. So connecting the dots, I think that's also one of the quotes I love from Steve Jobs. He always said that it is by looking backwards and connecting the dots backwards that you make meaning. And just like he also learned calligraphy, handwriting, and that's what made the Mac different from the PC. So yes, and you never know. So you tapped into all of that and you're utilizing it now to make greater impact, utilizing all that knowledge and experiences. But you tell us life happens for us and not against us. That is something that we can't eliminate. So decisions are important to make, and seizing opportunities. Yes. And you transformed me there where you say that once it comes in front of you, the universe is giving it to you. So seeing it as an opportunity is important, and knowing that the how will work out. Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, great.
absolutely.
Oh, thank you very much for that. Is there any other lesson you want to give entrepreneurs, coaches, professionals that can help them succeed and grow, apart from decision making and seizing opportunities? Is there anything else?
One of the things that I share during one of my trainings, right? Is this concept that our wealth zone lies outside our comfort zone, right? So in order for us to be able to grow our wealth, in order for us to be able to become more successful, right, we need to be able to step out of our comfort zone, because where we are currently is where what we have done in the past is bring us to where we are right now. So in order for us to be able to reach the next level of ourselves, right, the next version of ourselves, the bigger, better version of ourselves, right, we have to be able to step out out of our comfort zone, so that we can embrace that bigger version of ourselves. And so don't be afraid to actually think about what are the goals that we truly want to be able to accomplish, okay? And who do we need to be in order to be able to accomplish those goals? And once we have a very clear idea of who we need to be, right, then we can work backwards. What are the habits that we need to discard? What are the habits that we need to install? What are the actions that we need to take? What are the plans that we need to make, right? And then after that, to be able to take the massive action, to be able to achieve those goals. But it all starts with having the identity first. It all starts with having a very clear idea of who do we want to be at the end of the day? Who do we want to be known as? Who do we want to, when we leave the world, right? Who do we want to be remembered as? What is the legacy that we want to be able to leave behind? And then begin with the end in mind, work backwards, right? And start from there. And that's how I like to see it, because then we always have a very clear picture of who exactly we are and what exactly we're working towards.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And for all coaches, entrepreneurs, all listeners, welcome to Impact University. You've just had a transforming sessions. There you are. We've just had a session there, a class session for you. Fantastic. Thank you very much for that. And so this is issue 9. And the theme is striving for excellence. And you talk about striving for excellence. I've tapped into some of the knowledge, some of the posts that you have, and I realized this means something to you. So when you talk about that, what does it mean to you? Is it something you strive for as well as a professional and also in your personal life?
Absolutely. I think excellence is a standard. And it's something that I grew up with, and I was raised with such high standards. I guess it's because my parents, they all along in their entire life, they've always had a very they're very hardworking people, and they have very good work ethics. And as I was observing them as I was growing up, right, they seek to give their customers and their clients the best that they could. And so and they also want to be able to give us the best schools to be able to study in, and to be able to give us the best life, the best house to be able to stay in, right? And so from there, that's how I started to see that if we can have if we don't settle, right? If we are able to raise our standards and really to be able to embrace excellence and not mediocrity, and I don't mean this from a place of ego, right? Or luxury or what. What I'm saying is we don't need to strive for perfection. What we need to do is strive for progress, right? Every single time. How can I be better than who I am yesterday? How can I be better than who I am last year, right? And if I can be that just a little bit better, even if it's just 1% better, right? I'm already striving for excellence. I'm already raising my own standards in my life, whether it's business or whether it's in my personal life, whether it's in financially or whether it's in relationships, right? With my partner, whether relationships with my family or with yours, right? So every single time we don't settle, but we want to raise our standards and go for excellence. I remember one of the things that my mentor T. Harv Eker said, how you do anything is how you do everything. And so I always remembered that because if we strive for excellence in one area of our lives, we can strive for excellence in other areas of our lives as well. And we make that the default standard in our lives. So no matter what we do, right, we won't fall short. We won't settle for something that is lower than what we're willing to accept in our lives. And that's how our lives can improve.
That's amazing, and well done to your parents for planting that seed in you and spreading, never settling. And I do remember that from T. Harv Eker as well. How you do everything, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And I remember him using it with his son. When I think he was failing in his first year. That was a story that I learned from you, that he had to tell him, whatever you do, you have to do it the same way. So if you want to strive even within university to get your grades up, you have to use the same experience, the same habits to transfer them even in university. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
That's great. I had forgotten that bit, but it's good that you've said it now. I pick it up. Okay. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Now, as you have a team, I know for Impact University in a world training, how do you ensure, because people can say, I can do it, but my team is failing me. How do you make your team, how do you lead your team to act consistently in support for excellence?
That's a very good question. I believe that first and foremost, the team must be aligned with all of our values and our mission, right? So in our values, in our company values, right, we talk about kindness, we talk about being supportive, we talk about our clients are the ones who are providing for us, right? We are serving our clients, and so it's really important to be able to see how we can actually serve them to the best of our abilities so that they can get the results that they want. And so that is what my team is always thinking about. How can we support our clients better, right? And how can we give them the maximum resources that they can so that they can achieve the outcomes that they want? And from there, the next thing we talk about is what is our mission? Our mission is mission to movement. Our mission is transforming lives, right? Our mission is to be able to help them to be able to realize their dreams. Okay, and so for my team, we'll think about how can we have the systems and processes in place, right? So that we can effectively do all of that to be able to support the company, the company's mission, to support our clients, right, in the success that they want. And so these are the different things that we put in place. And first of all, my team are a great team of very, very kind and supportive people. So I really love my team as well, because every single day they're always thinking about how can we help our clients to become better at what they do.
Mission to movement. They understand the mission. Thank you very much. So aligning them to the values to support that whole mission. That's very good. That's transformation. And I hope you're tapping into that and ensuring that your team, the people you bring across, are completely aligned and understand the value of bringing results to your clients. Fantastic. Thank you very much. And what are the obstacles for achieving excellence at both in our training and Impact University? What are the obstacles that you face?
I think in every company, we always have growing pains, right? Especially when our business is growing very fast. We have how can we keep up with the success that we have, right? And so one of the things that is when I first started is how do I actually juggle between marketing and selling, as well as to be able to deliver client results as well, because in a coaching business, not only are we achieving sales, right? We want to be able to help our clients achieve their success and get the results. So it was a constant struggle for me to be able to do that. When I was first starting out, I was just doing on my own without a team. Subsequently, I've got team members, I've got a head coach, right? And then I grew my team now to a bigger team, right? So how can we start to install systems and processes in place so that it's no longer just me alone who's taking on all the work, right? So this is what I was struggling with right at the very beginning. And subsequently, it was, how do I grow my team, right? How do I help them to be able to be more effective at what they do so that I can become more effective at what I do, right? So it's always about training them so that they can help to take off more things off me so that I can better serve my clients, right? So these are all the growing pains that we have within our business in order to be able to make it even better, more efficient, and more and to be able to handle our next level growth in the next couple of years.
Oh, fantastic. I didn't know growth pain. I've heard of growth pain, but I thought it was more in children. But in business, yes, I could see all of that in terms of how do you transform in balancing results and marketing and sales and building the systems, the processes in place. Yes, you're going to be challenged as you keep changing from one stage to another, and you have to keep leveling up. Yeah, with the team,
Exactly.
with the team as
Exactly.
well. Yes,
Exactly.
fantastic.
Exactly.
How do you go about improving excellence anyway? Is there anything more around your systems and processes that you do for your coaching business?
I think it is one of the mottos that we always abide by is constant and never ending improvement. This is a quote by Tony Robbins. He calls it CANI, CANI. So this is something that we're always thinking about. How can I improve our systems and processes? How can we improve the things that we are doing, right? How can I make slight tweaks, right, so that we can become more efficient, and in my own work, right? How can I be more better in my delivery? Okay, how can I deliver more results to my clients? It all starts with thinking about the minor tweaks that we can do on a daily basis, because it's no longer about just doing things on a big scale, but it's about refining and mastery right now for many of our processes. And how can we just make that better every single day? So constant and never ending improvement, and to be able to learn, not just be stagnant in our growth, but to be able to learn from all the different people who are good at what they do, because we can't be good at every single thing, right? And so how can I bring in other experts who are good at what they do to be able to help me and grow in my business, right? Or to be able to mentor me or coach me so that I can become better at what I do. So this is what CANI is all about. This is what constant and never ending improvement is all about. To be able to have other people come in and help as well, so that we can grow at a faster pace and not just relying on our own, right? And thinking that I've got to do it all myself. And this is something that at first, when I first started in my business, I had this misconception that I got to do everything myself and that I'm the best person to do everything myself. I'm sure for many entrepreneurs, you have got this as well when you first started out, right? And so, right. So the thing is, we got to learn to let go of this control. We got to learn to let go of this belief that I'm always the best person to do it. Because if our team can do it better than us, or even if our team can do it 80% as good as us, that's actually good enough. So that we can focus on our zone of genius, right? And to be able to deliver better results for our clients, and then to be able to grow our business. Because as entrepreneurs, it's important for us not to be just in the business all the time. Because if we are in the business all the time, we are actually business operators. We got to be, in order for us to be business owners, we've got to be growing our business, and we got to be on our business, to be thinking about how can I grow my business, rather than just be in the business and immersed in the daily processes and lose ourselves and not be able to grow ourselves in the long term. So it's important for us to actually jump out and then look at the big picture from a high level view, right? And from there, our business then can grow, and to be able to equip our teams as well with the autonomy to be able to do the things so that they can grow the business together with us.
Amazing. Grateful for that. Thank you very much. Thank you. That is a way of improving excellence in your business, in your profession. Thank you very much. There's a lot for us to learn. So please tell us, I know we are running out of time. Is there anything that scares you?
Great question. I'm scared of snakes. I think if I see a snake on a plane, right, I'll probably freak out because there's no way to run. Yeah.
Oh, oh, I know those things that really put us out of state, out of state.
Yeah,
completely.
that's a joke. Well, on a more serious note, what would truly scare me is probably my parents not being around, or my parents' health failing. I think that would be my most biggest fear.
Oh,
Mm.
I know. So if you love them, if you've been with them, and God has been good and kind, that you still have them, that's something to hold on to. It's precious.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank God they are very healthy right now, and still around, so we get to share good times together.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. So what does success look like to you?
For me, it is living life on my own terms. To be able to have the time and the freedom to do what I want, to focus on my zone of genius, and more importantly, right now I think I'm at a stage where I want to be able to help even more of my clients achieve their success, to be able to achieve 6 figures and 7 figures in their own in their coaching business, right? So that they too can live life on their own terms. I think that would truly be the thing that is most satisfying for me. And in fact, most of the times when they achieve their success, I am happier and prouder than even my own achievements. So yeah, so it's like, whoa, sometimes when I see them overcoming their own limitations or their own fears, it just touches me so much that I just people don't know it, but I might just cry behind the scenes, because I'm just so touched when I see them overcoming themselves, and to be able to achieve the level of success, or the next steps, so that they can go on to achieve more success. And for me, if I can do that on scale, to be able to help even more, hundreds more, thousands more, right, and eventually maybe tens of thousands more, I think that would be truly very, very satisfying one for me.
Yeah, fantastic, fantastic. Living in your own terms, but also creating bigger impacts and seeing more of your clients as well, achieving the 6 figures, 7 figures, and also having to live on their own terms. So, and then also them impacting more people and then transforming the world. Thank you very much for that. Now, you say that failures are stepping stones to success. You shared this with your followers, and it's one of your most engaged. You have more engaged posts, but this is one of them. Tell us your view about failure, because many people, this is what stops them. This is what fails them from transforming their businesses. Tell us more about this.
I've failed so many times in my life. The very first time was when I was in my 20s. I was in China trying to grow my second business, right? And at that point I was just alone. There was this part where it was my birthday, and the night before I was just lying on this mattress that I had bought for $50, and it was in a rented apartment from someone that I paid $10 every single night. And I was wondering to myself, why am I alone in a foreign country trying to grow my business, still struggling, not having a lot of money, but so hungry for success, and despite all of that, not having a lot of results. And that was one of the moments of my life when I was very, very down, because I wanted it so much, and yet I didn't have any success at that point in time. So that was one of the biggest failing moments that I had. But I realized that it was moments like that that make me strong. It was moments like that that reminded me that if I could get through those moments, then um, the next other moments are just other moments that I have to get through, right? The worst are over, right? It's just how can I make use of the rest of the opportunities. So in this journey to 7 figures in my coaching, my very first Facebook Live, I choked 3 minutes in because I forgot to breathe. My first 3-hour workshop, basically the night before, I was getting cold feet and wanted to cancel it because I was so scared that I wouldn't be able to present or perform at the level that I wanted to. Right. I had many rejections. When I get on sales calls with potential clients, there were times when there were no sales for consecutive 10, 12, 15 calls, right? But all of that, what I see is, instead of seeing them as failures, can I see them as feedback? Can I see them as being able to gather more data to tell me what I need to improve? And if I can use this as feedback, right? If I can use all of these failures as stepping stones, it just means that I am just one step nearer to where I want to go. I'm just nearer to my success, because now on this trajectory, right, between where I am to where I want to go, every single step that I take, I am bringing myself nearer to the end result. So that's how I see failures. And that's why I say failures are just the stepping stones to success. Because if we can actually see that they are, and every single time we can overcome them, we get nearer to where we want to be, right? Then we can just put our focus on the future and not put the focus on beating ourselves up. Because very often I find that when we beat ourselves up, we get into that spiral of negativity. And sometimes it's just hard to step out of it. But if we can put our focus instead on thinking that failures are just feedback, failures are an opportunity for us to stop and review and ask ourselves, what is the lesson here? What is it teaching me? What is the thing that I can gain from it, right? So that I can become better the next time I do it. And if I can come with it from that level of thinking and that mindset, right? That's when there are no failures. It's all feedback. It's all feedback, right? And then that's how we can make our journey happier, right? So that every single time we're just thinking about tweaking and refining and become better, rather than defining ourselves as failures, right? And labeling ourselves, because the label becomes the experience. When we label ourselves as failure, that's when we stop and we let self-doubt besiege us, right? And that's when it becomes hard to take the next step. So how can we put our focus on something positive so that it becomes easier for us to take the next step? Is to then reframe failure as feedback, which is actually very, very true if we look at it from that perspective.
Very true. Thank you very much. So there we are. We don't see it as a failure and not put a label on yourself, but actually seeing it as a feedback, like you did at some point after realizing 10 failed sales calls, 15 failed sales calls, changing yourself and not actually putting yourself down and just taking that to be feedback. How can I tweak? What do my clients want? That's a good way to actually to change perspectives and allow you to go back to what you told us, to hold on, to keep persevering through those dark moments. Yeah. Thank you very much. You've answered most of our questions. So we go back to asking you about women. I know that you talked about sometimes what we tell ourselves. What do you think as a coach who was coached? I know you coach women and men, but this is a platform for women and all our subscribers are women. They sometimes want something that relates to them more because they want this separation, but that's for men. What do you think is holding women back to achieving their greatest potential?
I think one of the things that that holds us back is that for a very long time, women, we have been primed to be very, very nurturing people, right? And then we put other people in front of us. We put our family, we put our spouses, we put our kids, right? And we put our community in front of us. And that's when we then eventually get depleted of our own energy until the point where there might be a point where some of us actually lose our own identities or lose our own directions because we start to live our lives for other people instead. But if we can start to think about, can I fill myself up first? Can I start to put on the oxygen mask for myself first before I put it on for others? Can I give myself more self-care, right? Can I indulge myself and reward myself first and give myself more meaning and fulfillment in my lives first? That's how, when I can fulfill myself, I can also start to be able to lift other people up. I can start to be able to be more joyful, happier, right? And that's when other people, our kids, our families, our spouses will be happier as well because we are happier. So as women, right, I find that if we can start from that space by really giving ourselves the chance to actually just start with giving more to ourselves first, rather than thinking about how can I give more of myself to others, that's when eventually we will be able to give more of ourselves to others. But start from where we are first. Otherwise, we get depleted too fast, too much, and it becomes a point of it's hard to actually find back ourselves.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. I think that helps to relieve lots of women. You just have to know that you need to put your mask on first and before you give to others. And definitely, we've all been conditioned, and that's the way we think. You have to first help others. And by the time you come to yourself, there's less you can do. There's little you can do. You can't do your homework. You can't do your business. You can't do a lot.
Yeah, we're always putting ourselves last. Yeah.
Yes, our goals come last, everything comes last. Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. And therefore we have to just change that whatever it is, whether it's a triangle, you have to flip it and allow yourself to have more self-care. Think about yourself before you give yourself to others. That's fantastic. Is that what you do to ensure that you continue to succeed? Are you able to?
I do. I schedule in for my own business. I schedule in thinking time, right? So that I have moments of silence to be able to focus on myself and to be able to think about what I need to do in order for to grow my business. And for my own personal life, I also have self-care activities, times when I will wind down, right? And to be able to I'll spend more time. Maybe I've got places that I really love, right? Like spending time at the beach. That's where these are my happy places. I've got my happy music, right, that I listen to. So these are the things that I do when it comes to self-care as well. Yeah, going to the spa, doing massages and all that, just to be able to pamper myself on a regular basis, right? So that I feel recharged, rejuvenated, right, and refreshed to be able to take on a new day. And when that happens, everyone around me benefits as well, because I start with a fresh mind and a fresh spirit.
Fantastic. Wow, wow, wow. You know what to do, ladies, now. You know what to do. You've had it. To get to those 6 figures, 7 figures, your health has to be up there. You have to now to look after yourself. Go for the spa, go for the massage. And yes, then you serve from a full cup, isn't it? That's
Exactly. And that's why last year I went skydiving. It was one of the things on my bucket list, right? So and yeah, and so it was like one of the best things that I did last year as a reward for myself for reaching my 7 figures, right? So
Wow.
yeah, so it was so fun. And so when you can do activities like that you truly love and that truly fulfills you, that's when you actually feel that life is worth living. Life is such a happy journey to to be in, right? And every day is just so worth it.
Yes, yes, definitely. Thank you so much. I know you told us already about the 333, 330 and 3. Can you go back to that? Because I think that's where you're heading here in terms of your mission. We just want to know where you're heading in the next 5, 10 years to come.
Uh, for me, my next mission, of course, is to be able to help 300 of my clients to be able to reach their first of 10K in their coaching business, and then 30 of them to reach their first 6 figures, which is 100K in their coaching business, and then 3 of them to be able to reach their first 7 figures, which is 1 million in their coaching business. That is the next one thing that I'm working on, and in the next 5 to 10 years, right, I want to be able to bring that to thousands more, so that together, all of us, as a mission to movement, we can bring more good into the world. Because I believe that collectively, women, right, of course, men included, but in the next 10 years, 5, 10 years, right, women are going to play a huge part in the betterment of this world, in the improvement of this world, and in making this place just a more loving, more kind, more compassionate world to be able to live in. And so this is something that I hope to be able to spread with Mission to Movement, right? And with all of our clients together, because with their missions, with their expertise and their passions, right, we all can make a difference. And it all starts from just transforming life one at a time. It all starts from ourselves, and so can every single one of you as well. Because for me, starting out where I am as a very shy, very introverted, very quiet person, if I can do it, right, every single one of you can. Every single one of you can.
I just love that mission. I just love that mission. And I can imagine myself being in proximity with you, feeding off all that positive energy, those vibrations. Oh my goodness. All of those around you, they're feeding off the inspiration you have for your team, the alignment you have, the love you have for the clients. Everyone is consuming that, and I'm sure all the listeners are consuming that. And most likely, you know how waves thrive. We are all just feeding off it right now. I feel my cup is full just listening to you. My cup
Thank
is
you.
full
Thank
this
you.
morning. It's morning time in
Thank
the
you.
UK, and I feel my cup is already full. Thank you so much. So if we go back in time, what key lessons would you give your 15-year-old self? Little
Oh,
girl.
that's a great question. My 15-year-old self, I'll probably tell my 15-year-old self, just try everything you want to. Don't hold anything back. Whatever that you feel that you're passionate about, just go pursue it. There's no limits to what you can do, right? Even at 15 years old, because you don't know what all of these experiences is going to help you going forward in your future. That's the first thing, right? Second thing, I would love to be able to tell my 15-year-old is, it's okay to be different. You don't have to try to fit in, right? Just be you, and and just be happy, right? Because life is so much, so much in life that we can look forward to. But most importantly, to choose the peer group well, because who we hang out with is going to eventually determine our future, right? We are the average of the 5 people that we hang out with. So if we can hang out with the people that we aspire to be, one day we'll become like them as well. So choose our peer group very, very carefully, right? So that every single time we can always learn, right? And be among the people that we truly admire. So that would be the advice that I would give the 15-year-old me, right? If I have the opportunity to, and I hope that this inspires every single one of you as well.
Definitely, it's inspirational. Oh my goodness. Wow, wow, wow. She has a lot to hold on to, but it's everything is possible. You're telling her to just pursue everything, no limits for herself. You're telling her to be herself, to just be herself and not try to fit in, choose the right people, and to be happy. Wow, wow. Shoot your flower right now. She'll just be that flower. It doesn't care. It's just itself and producing whatever it has to produce for others to feed off. And that's you right now. Thank you very much for that. Do you have a life mantra?
I do. And it's very
Yeah.
simple. It's just be happy without reason. Be happy without reason. Yeah. There's nothing that we need to externally outside of us to make us happy. We can be happy regardless of whatever is happening outside of us. Yeah, just be happy without reason.
Fantastic. I think it's very healing and liberating, really. Just sets everybody free. Yeah. Be happy without reason. I love that. And so before we leave, please, can you leave a challenge for the Stellar Women, all our listeners, to help them learn how to strive for excellence from now on? What challenge do you leave them?
I would say don't settle. Don't settle. We are all worthy of a spectacular life, and just go for it. Just go for it, because it all starts from believing in ourselves first and seeing that the end is worth it, right? And believing that we can actually work backwards to be able to achieve the goals that we want, and that at the end of it, right, that we all deserve a life that we love. We all deserve to live that fulfilling life. We all deserve to live a life where we have the money that we want, right? Without having to worry, without having to think about all the limitations that we place on ourselves, that or other people place upon us, right? We can, as long as we are very clear about what we want. We just need to go for it and be hungry, be bigger than our problems, right? And just be bold.
Be what?
Be
Sorry,
bold
be
to go
bold.
for
Yes, all right, be bold.
to go for it.
Yes,
Yes.
be bold, be bigger than your problems, and be hungry. Don't settle, believe in yourself. So wow, there's just here we are that we have learned a lot from one and only Wewe here, giving us impactful information, and taking us, elevating our consciousness in terms of what is possible for us as women, wherever we are and wherever we are in terms of our starting point. She once slept on a mat, paying every single day $10 every single night, you can imagine. And today she is a 7-figure coach, transforming and elevating the performance of all the coaches that are within her to get to that level as well, so that they can all create a bigger impact. We can all create a bigger impact for our communities and for the world at large. So it has been an honor. We are so grateful for this classroom session that we have just experienced this morning and this afternoon, I think in Singapore, and anytime that you are when you're tapping into this knowledge. Let it transform you. Let it transform you. And where can we get hold of you, Wewe? Do you know how our listeners can get hold of you after listening to this session? Someone might think, oh my goodness, how can I get hold of this 7-figure coach? How can I get hold? Of course, we shall put out down some links, but you can also help our listeners and subscribers to get to know how to get hold of you.
You can find me on my Facebook account, Hui Hui, HUI, Lake, LEK. And basically that is where most people get to know me, and you can also read about all my stories and my posts on my Facebook account as well.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you very much. It has been an honor for having you here. Thank you so much for sparing your time and giving us the knowledge. We are here to change perspectives, to elevate your consciousness, to understanding possibilities in your life so that you too can change and become an impactful individual, whether an entrepreneur or a profession in whatever career that you're doing. So until next time, thank you so much for joining us. It has been May Stella Kikoyo, the editor-in-chief of the Stellar Woman magazine, and our Stellar Woman, we will link, who is the founder and CEO of Impact University and Inner World Training. Thank you. Until next time, have a great day and a great week. Goodbye.
Thank you.